Hello and welcome to another episode of Cyrils Brettspiele. My name is Nils and today, in a nutshell, Vikings on board blue-orange games. First of all, what is in the box? And again, let's take a briefly fast look at the components. Why we are doing this today is because the component quality is outstanding. That is up front. So each player has 4 of these Vikings. In other words, these are workers, but they are cool little plastic miniatures. Then you have a scoring board that's only for score your points. You have this 4 bidding tokens here. You have the player area, and you have boat tiles here. Each ship in the game consists of a boat of several of these pieces in the middle here, up to 5 per boat, and then a stern tile, which is nothing else than a front. So a back, a front, and up to 5 centerpieces. Each boat is starting in the harbor, and the front tiles are starting outside, same as these tiles here. However, these tiles are starting here on the boats right from the beginning, and when one player take the action sail, he simply closed one boat, a boat, and this boat is sailing away. Immediately this boat will be scored. Whatever is on the board is scoring tokens. You put your scoring tokens here on the disc, and when 7 out of 8 boats left the harbor, the game is over. Easy, or? Let's take a look briefly about the scoring system. Here are 3 different types of goods in the game. It's metal, it's wheat, and it's another one. Each of this will have at the end of the game a value printed on here and marked with the goods tokens according to the symbols, like this here. And let's assume it's like this. Then each single wheat is worth 4 points, each single metal is worth 3 points, and so on. How are you doing and how are you playing this game is simply by placing your workers. In the first round, you are placing your workers on this side of the board. Just randomly determine the turn order. So let's assume like this. If this is a turn order with 4 players, you're going backwards. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then starting with this player here, the closest to this starting player token, you now pick your guy and put it in any of these spots, whatever you want. Take the according action when it's your turn, and that is how it works. So let's say this one goes here, then you take this brown action. I explained the actions briefly in a second. Then it's green turn, he is going probably here, and so on. When everybody is moved from here to there, let's assume like this, boop, 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 then this guy moves over and we have the next round. The only action that is not taking place immediately is to sail the ship. This action will override this action, and this will be always the last action. On this side, the actions are much more powerful than here. Here, this is simply become next starting player for the next round if you desperately need a strong action. However, if you play these stronger actions, you are last in turn order for the next round. The game starts with 3 body pieces per ship in different colors. These colors representing the different fractions indicated in the game. And even if you're playing with 3 players, you always have 4 colors of clans in this boats represented. And now you can bring on either this goods here onto the ships to make it more interesting to get one of these ships here. So when this ship is, for an example, closed down and it leaves, then you count the majority of shields. In this case here, as you can see, green has 1, 2, 3 shields, red has 1, and blue has 1. So green is the majority party. Green would take the first pick on these goods here. Let's assume this one here. And then red or blue is tying, and who is closest to this port area will get the next pick. So red has the next pick. In addition to that, you also have here the circles here. You, over the course of the game, you can vote on these things here. You can vote for your own color, but you also can vote for different colors like this. So yellow, for an example, picked the correct spot. He said green is correct. In this case, yellow takes his marker and places it on his scoring piece face down, along with probably when yellow would, for an example, take one of these face down and collecting the victory points here. Shortest version is 7 rounds when each round a ship will end, or it's more than 7 rounds if one of these rounds is not using this end token here. That is the rules briefly for Vikings on board. It's a worker placement style game, so you place your worker and take the action. Each spot is only available once, so now green blocked the spot for the whole round for each other color. With area control in these body parts. The real fun fact on that is, first of all, the quality of the components is outstanding. However, cool is that you can swap these positions here. For an example, if you wanted to take over control here, right now yellow has two, green has 3, and red has 1, and you are the yellow player. Why not replacing the green one here, for an example, and put that here, take your yellow one and place it here. Now you have the full power on the ship here, and when you're sailing you have 4 here, and 4 is a pretty good number to win this boat. However, later on the red player could come along and place another one here and probably another one here. I have to say 5 is the max, so there's no way to get more than 5 body parts per boat. If it's like this, you have always the option of still swapping body parts out. And this is the flow of the game. You try to manipulate the boats in your favor and then close it down, send this ship into the sea and make sure you get the most points out of it. Load up these boats with the goods and get as many goods as you can. Like always, in a nutshell, I will talk to you about my personal experiences with Vikings on board. Vikings on board is one of these games that came along with a package to my door, and I said, well, let's take a look at the box, and I opened this game. Inside it's this cool looking insert, and then you see first of all these cool looking shields in here, the cool looking miniatures, and the pre-assembled boat parts, and you think, wow, that looks really cool. Then you're going a little bit deeper into it and reading, oh, worker placements game, family style, easy to play, fast to learn. Wow, all my rings are all my bells are ringing now, so this should be the game right up my alley. You unpack it, you try it one time, a second time, a third time, and you think, well, it's exactly what it says. It's a fast playing game. It's under an hour. You easily play only 7 rounds. It's not too long. It's enough fun. It's a little bit of poking the other one and take that mechanisms like, oh, I'm stealing that from you. Oh, don't do that. And things like that. And it flows really well, really quickly after you understand the actions. And there are only 10 different symbols on the board. Once you understand the 10 different symbols here, you know exactly what you're doing, and it flows easily and quick. And you think, wow, this game definitely delivers. It promised to be a beautiful looking family light worker placement game, and that's exactly what you get out of it. The flip side on that is what always is the flip side on a lightweight worker placement game. The depth is not too much, which is in the nature of the description already, and the replayability, because there's almost no randomness. There is no randomness in this actions here, only in the turn order, and a little bit of randomness in how you deploy these body parts in the first setup. However, that's not the biggest issue. It recommends in the rules that you always take 3 different colors here, so that you don't have the power, the overpowered green fraction here, and you can start on your first turn here with a powerful boat or whatnot. So this is a really light and easy setup, and therefore the replayability is it's getting a little bit boring after the third, after the fourth, and after the fifth game. But honestly, I wanted to let you know, and I wanted to ask you, how often are you playing the exact same game with the exact same group 5 times in a row without playing another game? That's really rare, I know, at least for me, and therefore I would say what you get out for it, the production quality and everything is so great, it's so good, it's looking so good, and you find easily players who wanted to play this awesome looking game with you, that it's definitely worth to buy it and to own it and show it to your friends. If they like it, you play it 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times. And for me, to be honest, again, 10 times playing a game is a good game for me. Always under 5, it's a bad game, but I played that more than 3 times so far, and it's just 2 weeks old, so I assume I will play it at least 8, 9, 10 times, and then again, it's a really good game. The only complaints my test groups had so far is that it's probably a little bit too light for them, but that is an issue of picking the right group for the correct game. This is Vikings on board Blue-Orange Games. My name is Nils, Cyrils Brettspiele, and see you next time when it is in a nutshell edition and we are taking a look at another game. See you. Bye bye.